Welcome to the DrayWay. I am so glad you are here. We have so much to talk about. We got a lot to do. Let's go. Welcome to the DrayWay. I'm glad you're here. I'm your host, Drayton. And the first thing I want to talk about is what we are all talking about, at least everybody around me has been talking about, and that is the Donald Trump interview on Meet the Press. Yeah. Have you seen that? Have you watched that? Have you checked that out yet? If you haven't seen the Meet the Press interview, you got to watch it. You absolutely got to watch it, because I am absolutely 100% convinced now that we are going to have 4 years of absolutely nothing. Yeah, 4 years of Donald Trump just BSing his way through the presidency, just like he did through that interview. The entire interview, the letters BS just kept coming in my mind. BS, 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 because every single thing out of his mouth was just, he might as well sat there and went, I don't know, because that's basically what he was doing through the entire interview. I don't know. Mr. President, what are your plans for health care? Surely you have a plan now. What is your plan for health care? Well, I mean, we've, we definitely, absolutely, positively, we've completely, yes, have a concept of a plan. Yeah. What? You just said all of that because you have a concept of a plan? Surely, Mr. President, you've said this before months and months and months ago. Surely by now you have more of a healthcare plan than a concept. What exactly is that plan? Well, it's going to be a very good plan. It's going to be a very big plan, because big plans are necessary when it comes to healthcare, because people depend on healthcare. So it's going to be a big plan that people need for sure. And she's like, what? What is the plan? What is the plan? Well, we got concepts. We have concepts. That is what the entire interview was like. And it's just, I don't know, as an interviewer, I don't know how you hold your shit together and not be like, dude, do you know anything? Do you have a core belief in your soul about anything? Please tell me that you have a belief about something, because no matter what I ask you about, you are not passionate about anything. You are not passionate about squat, because and you want to know why? Because it tells me you have no inner concern about anything or anyone except yourself. I mean, when you watch Trump talk, you just want to scream out the word narcissist. You just want to scream it at the top of your lungs, because that is what you're watching. You're watching a man that could care less. And this is what I want to talk to you about today. You think I want to talk about Donald Trump? I don't. I want to talk about the big mistake we're making. The big mistake we're making. And as you watch that interview, the mistake is that thinking that because you're a billionaire, that you know things, that you know how to handle stuff. And just because you're a billionaire, it doesn't grant you anything else. It doesn't grant you the knowledge and ability to do real technical things that have to be done to make the government function. Just because you hit a pitch out of the park and became a billionaire doesn't mean you know how to run a country and its government. It doesn't mean that whatsoever. And it certainly doesn't mean that we should give you license to walk in as a billionaire and now surround yourself with more billionaires. So you have a house full of billionaires in the White House, and they have no idea. They have no concept. If you think for 1 minute a billionaire cares anything about you, You are crazy. You're crazy. Why would they care about you? What for? If you had all the money in the world, why would you be concerned with somebody in Arkansas or Alabama or Oklahoma or Louisiana? Who cares? Nobody cares about you. That's what I want you to understand. This isn't a red and blue thing. You guys keep thinking this is Republican versus Democrat, conservative versus liberal. That is a bunch of BS. That's not what this is all about. What's happening right in front of our face, and has been happening for decades, is the rich keep taking everything. Everything, year after year after year after year. They've even convinced you right there, I'm looking at you. They have you convinced that can't tax the rich. Oh, you can't tax the rich. We used to tax them at like 90%. Look it up. Yeah, we used to tax the rich, and the rich were still, you know what? Still rich. But we used to tax the hell out of the rich because they're the ones with the money. But now, after decades, there's many of you that are like, oh, you can't, that's not fair. You can't tax the rich. The rich shouldn't. You're not rich. Shut up. Shut up. What are you talking about? You act like you're rich. You're not. But you've been trained. You're literally now trained. You're like a puppy dog, and you've been trained to, well, we can't go after the rich. We can't, leave them alone. It's their money. The government shouldn't do this. The government shouldn't do that. What are you talking about? You're on government assistance. You're in the SNAP program. What are you talking about? I don't get it. I don't understand it. To all you Republicans, it's not about blue and red. It's not about blue and red. It's about the really rich taking everything. They're taking all the wealth that has been generated in the last 10 years. They've taken 97% of it. 97%. And guess what? The rest of us are fighting for that 3%. Who cares? Who cares? Stop thinking this is a blue versus red, because it is not. It is the rich versus the poor. And if you're not in the top 1%, you are the poor. Yeah. So, welcome to the DrayWay. I'm glad you're here. That was my official rant for the day. But yeah, guys, we got to get it under control. You need to understand. It's not about red versus blue. I don't care that's just for clickbait. Red versus blue is clickbait. The real truth of the matter in this country is it's the rich versus the poor. Let me know what you think in the comments. Welcome to the DrayWay. I am so glad you are here. We got a lot more to talk about. Stay right there. I watched the interview with Donald Trump, and it's convinced me that nothing is going to get done because Donald Trump has no real beliefs in getting things done, except for one thing he's kind of really made a point about getting started with as soon as he hits the White House, is deporting people. And nobody has discussed exactly how that's going to work, or the cost associated with it, or the ramifications of dragging people out of their house or business and just deporting them where? Where is it you think you can just send them? Because it's not like other countries are like, oh yeah, just send a bunch of people this way. Yeah, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. And you want to hear the crazy part? I mean, have you watched this interview? I mean, he thinks that, I guess that he can somehow magically make it so you're not a U.S. citizen, even though you've been born here. The 14th Amendment is very specific. If you're born in the United States, you're a U.S. citizen. And you're entitled to all the rights as a U.S. citizen. So if Donald Trump thinks he's going to circumvent the 14th Amendment, good luck with that. Yeah, good luck with that. There's nothing he can do with his pen or pencil or anything else and just say, hey, I'm president, so I'm changing the 14th. It doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. If you are born in the United States, you are a U.S. citizen. You can't deport that person anyplace. I mean, under the law, they have protections. You can't, there's nothing the President of the United States can do to just suddenly make it sound like you've got to go. I got another phone ringing. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. But there's literally nothing the president can do to just automatically change that. And that's what I found so disturbing about his interview. That is what it just seemed really out of place and strange, because the 14th Amendment is very clear. And so now what are we going to do? Are we going to sit there and say, well, wait a minute, the mother and father are technically not, U.S. citizens, so we're just going to deport them and leave the child, the American citizen, here? Is that what we're going to do? Is that a wise thing to do? Is that going to somehow benefit the country by deporting parents and leaving kids parentless here in the United States? Yeah, I don't understand how that's all going to work. I don't understand how that benefits us. Let me know in the comments what you think. I mean, do you think it's okay just to basically deport parents and leave U.S. citizens here at home to fend for themselves? Let me know what you think in the comments. I can't wait to hear it, but because I certainly don't understand it. But let me know what you think in the comments. Welcome back to the DrayWay. I'm glad you're here. I got one more thought for you, and that is with the upcoming Christmas season. We are just 15 days away. 15 days away from Christmas Eve. And I hope you've gotten all your Christmas shopping done. And if you haven't, get out there. Now's the time to get it done. But that's kind of a little bit what I want to talk to you about is capitalism and spending. I mean, our economy runs on consumer spending. And one of the things that I've noticed over the last few years is that, in the last 5 years since COVID, most of the wealth keeps going to the top. Most of the wealth, like 97% of it, goes to the top. And I want to just kind of put a warning out there as to what is going to happen. And I want you to think about this. I know this is a strange final thought for the show, but I just saw in Italy is having a huge, huge problem. And Italy's huge problem is, listen to this, they have 6,000 towns, 6,000 that are empty. They're empty because there's no people, because the birth rate in Italy has fallen and fallen and fallen. And now they're in a dire situation in Italy. But it's not just Italy, it's happening here in America. And it's beginning to become a real issue because children are not being born. And this is the part that I just want you to think about this. Because the way this country is going is we continue until we have a workers' bill of rights. This country needs a workers' bill of rights, because how are families, how are our husband and wives supposed to plan a family if you can't secure your financial well-being? How are you supposed to plan for a family when the two of you are just barely getting by? And this is a serious issue that we have to deal with now, because people are not having kids because it's unaffordable. Because very simply, whether you believe it or not, it's what's happening right now. The rich are taking it all. The top 1% is just, it's not enough. I want more. It's not blah, 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 blah. They want it all. And until we say, stop, wait a minute, enough is enough, the money has to come to the benefit of the workers, the people putting in the work. It's not about the shareholders. It's not about the CEO. It's not about the really rich people, because if we keep giving all the money to too few, if too few get it all, capitalism doesn't work. We are a consumption-based economy. But if the people, if the workers, if the people don't have money, you won't be having children being born, and you won't have people consuming because they don't have anything. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. And we have to start talking about it. We have to start acknowledging that we have a problem, that too few have too much. And until we start getting together a workers' bill of rights, so that all this, we have become more and more productive as decade after decade after decade has gone by. We have become more and more and more productive, but the pay has not. The pay hasn't come close to keeping up with our productivity, and that is what's bringing our whole situation, hopefully not as dire as Italy, but it's heading that way. Let me know what you think in the comments. I can't wait to hear it. Let me know what your thoughts are. Welcome to the DrayWay. I am so glad you're here. By the way, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do. I'm trying to get to 100,000 and I need your help. So please hit the subscribe button and join me every day right here on the DrayWay. I'm glad you watched. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.